Yo, let me give it to you right. All night, no, we ain't never gonna stop, aight? Never had it like this before. No, gotta keep it together. Yeah, that's right. It's a real good sexual fight. Give it to you, all night, right?
I'ma take you some loving, sweet delicious somethings. Only you, I'm so gifted. See the blood on the wings.
Point of View Talk Show Season 3.
I just wanna ride through the city with the windows down.
Hey guys, it's your girl Gizelle.
I gotta get myself together. Wanna be ready when the stormy weather comes around. I'm just gonna be my time is now, not later. I know you don't believe in me, but you gon' respect the God in me. Oh, believe in me. I believe. Gotta know I love
Hey yo, buscas pasar un buen rato.
Dímelo.
Bueno, ¿qué tal una aventura para toda la vida?
Ok.
Mi dato sobrevivo, donde vivo, no me importa. Tomaré un mangla, un gato o lo que sea. See I'm moving fast, but no crash. I'm a last, get that cash, ain't no time for your low class. Nací para ser un chapoteo, manejo tu bum bum. Nací para aparecer.
Hace dinero.
Nací para ser un chapoteo, manejo tu bum bum. Nací para aparecer.
Hace dinero.
Entra diosa de la jungla, el señor, la arena.
el que es como nunca has visto.
Dancing to the sounds of nature so free. Back that thing up on what you want to see.
Coge, nena, coge, nene.
Quiero que expreses todo tu amor y alegría. Suficiente por los juegos. Así que deja de jugar tímido. Nací para ser un chapoteo, manejo tu bum bum. Nací para aparecer.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to season 3, another exciting episode of From Her Point of View Talk Show with your girl LeeLee the Goddess and my beautiful co-hostess.
Hey guys, I'm so happy to be back here with LeeLee the Goddess. It is your girl Gizelle from Chicago, and I would love for you to follow our page at From Her Point _ of View _ Talk Show. This show is presented by I Said It Management, and if you want to be a guest We want you. Please email us at fromherpointofview@aol.com.
Yes, brought to you by I Said a Ministry. I'm telling you, this is what it is. And if you would like to support me, you can go ahead and Google LeeLee the Goddess. And you'll find me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook. Go ahead and follow. And you can also support my magazine. Go ahead and follow Flawless Dreams Magazine on Facebook. And go ahead and support all my other content. That's like music videos, it's films, it's all these trailers, it's all kinds of content that's gonna be so great and exciting. Just go ahead and type in Flawless Dreams, one word, on YouTube. Follow, subscribe. What could they look at you up? Go on, girl.
I would love for you all to follow me as well. I'm Gizelle, and you can follow me at Gizzy Worldwide. That's Gizzy Worldwide. That's my handle on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook as well. Look out for more from me. But today, it's all about From Her Point of View. Okay? And we've got a lovely guest.
Our beautiful queen by the name of Annisa Davis. What's up, queen? She is a published author. She is a business entrepreneur. She is an Anisestar luxury oils distributor. Lots of hats, motivational speaker, and victims advocate. We definitely got to get into it. Come on board, queen. Welcome to the show.
Hi, queens. How are you?
Welcome.
Having me.
Hi.
Hi. Well, my name is
It's great
Annisa.
to have you on today.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm feeling it. Love it.
Where can everybody go and support you on all social media platforms, queen?
All right. You can find me on Annisa Davis on Facebook, Anisestar Luxury Oils on Instagram. You can always Google my name. You can find the book on Amazon. I'm pretty much everywhere. So Annisa Davis is my name, and Anisestar Luxury Oils and Fragrances is the business. And I am also a published author, and this is my baby here.
Go ahead and plug. What's the name of your book?
Called Memoirs of a Broken Side.
Wow.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
pretty
Memoirs of a Broken Side. That is a strong title. And what is your zodiac sign?
I'm a Scorpio, November 2nd.
Oh, Scorpio in the house, everybody. And shout out to our brand ambassador, Miss Lizzie Smith, over there in the comment sections as Elizabeth Smalls. And shout out to our other brand ambassador, Mimie Acosta, the legendary Mimie Acosta. Hi, how you doing, Lizzie? Oh, and she complimented your cover, Miss Annisa Davis. She said it was a beautiful cover. She loves it. She welcomes you to the show. And yes, we do love I Said It. Yes, we do. Thank you so much for providing us beautiful ladies with this wonderful platform for us to talk about relationships from our point of view. Yes, let's get into it. All right. Drum roll. I like to ask some questions. I gotta do it. I'm gonna rip it off like a band-aid. Kiss on first date, yeah or nah?
It just all depends on the
That's
chemistry.
a very popular answer. I think that's a very popular answer.
Yeah.
I've heard some people, a small amount, say yes, like with no hesitation, but the popular answer has always been it depends.
It depends on who it is, for one.
And how the date is going.
And then the mode.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not really a straightforward type of person. So somebody catches me off guard, possibly. But I would say just all.
Yeah.
What do you think, Gizelle?
It's a kind of not no tongue and stuff like that. And like she said, it depends. Maybe a peck or something, but it depends.
I gotta agree with that. I'm really on board with this popular answer, and it's popular for a reason because it makes sense. So that means that there's more reasonable people out there, level-headed, reasonable women out there. Hopefully, the men take note. Please. I noticed that something has been on the rise as of late. Tell me if you noticed this, Queen. From your point of view, have you noticed that there's a lot of people that they instead of just enjoying their own company, they rather settle for somebody, no matter who, even if they're not happy. If the person has got them miserable, they complain about them, they either live with them or they don't live with them. And it just seems like it's a very popular thing that's on the rise. Not that it's popular in a good way, but it's just something that I'm noticing quite a lot of. Maybe it's a new year resolution. What do you think?
I I see it a lot, and I'm one of those people that I refuse to settle. There's just certain things that I cannot allow, especially with the mission that I'm on. So anything that's going to be a hindrance to my calling, um, I can't I can't rock with it. I mean, I'm one of those people. I'll never like kick them in when they're down. I've never done that. I'll see you to shore,
Yeah.
you know. But I already have it made up in my mind that I'm not going to be here for long. So,
Well,
Let them know.
but yeah,
Gizelle, what you think?
I just think like I'm with her, like settling. I do think that that is something that is common. You know, like they say, it's cheaper to keep her. I think a lot of that's going on, bills, or maybe children are involved, but also maybe the fear of being alone or starting over, especially with the way that the dating pool supposedly is now. But you definitely shouldn't settle. You definitely should have self-worth, self-value. Settling is kind of like I would say it's a division of low self-esteem, which a lot of people probably don't think that they have. But settling and just especially when it's not good, when it's not serving you, abusive relationships, things like that. I definitely would say get out of those situations, find yourself, your inner peace. You can find love, but again, it's possible, but don't ever think that it's an issue to be alone and just and develop yourself until that happens again. May happen, may not, but at least you won't be in a settling situation.
Anisa, you are a victim's advocate, so doesn't that kind of, she just touched on something that you might be really familiar with hearing, especially victims, people that they don't know how to not be a victim anymore. They just kind of keep.
absolutely. The idea is to not be a victim. The idea is to use your circumstances, and overcome them and allow it to be like an awakening for you. But yeah, I see it all the time. And everybody makes mistakes. Nobody's perfect. And there's some things that you should work out with someone. There's certain things that you really shouldn't disregard someone if their shortcomings. But there's also a level of respect. And like I said, anything that's going to be a hindrance to your calling is going to be a problem. If your instinct is to put up guards up, that's energy. Energy does not lie.
That's true.
And there's something there. Now, whether or not it's been revealed yet, why you two cannot get along, it'll come in time. Like, it's things that are going on deeper levels that you don't even understand why you can't connect to someone. But that comes with the big reveal. That comes with you, fasting, praying, really dissecting your own life, seeing the coincidence. How did you meet this person? And then what I've been on lately is the word conflict of interest. And that's been coming to me. Conflict of interest. Whenever there's doors shut, whenever a relationship's not working out, you've done all that you can do. Somewhere down the line, there's some type of conflict of interest. That means that person might be affiliated with someone else or other people that might be against you or whatever you stand for. Because there would be no reason why a person wouldn't want to connect or want to do the right thing, or want to, treat you good or treat you right. So, conflict, you just have to look at everything affiliated with that person. Why is this not working out?
All the elements involved.
All the elements.
And Lizzie has a question. She says she wants to know from all of us, from our point of view, if you were on a date and it wasn't going well, would you finish the date or would you leave early?
I finish out whatever I start.
Oh,
I'll finish it. Like if they're putting me in a crazy situation or something, of course I'm not gonna stick around for that, but I'll stick, the way that I am is I really just try to keep my word. And that has gotten me into some trouble because sometimes it used to keep me longer in situations longer than I should have been there. But my whole thing is that I always keep my word, and I'm big on that. So if I'm on a date and I'm really not really feeling this person or whatever the case is, I'll see it all the way through. You know, why not? You know, as long as we're not, nobody's abusing me or being
Right.
weird or something like that. But, you know, why not? You know?
Right. There's lines.
I would see it all
What
the
do
way
you
through
think,
as
Gizelle?
well. Yeah, I would
Yeah.
definitely see it all the way through as well. I mean,
Yeah.
it'll probably be some good girl talk later on, but so long as it's not a threatening situation, definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just rude to just, you know, it kind of rude to just end it just because
Just
if it
'cause it's
wasn't
boring.
something, yeah, that's kind of rude. So I would definitely
That's true.
Okay,
maybe
so
try to speed it up a little bit, maybe X out one
yeah.
of the plans, but
Well, you know, do you find yourself, with that being said, do you find yourself being the more entertaining one during the date or the relationship? Because maybe, you know, whatever happens on the dates also shows, and you're willing to pursue it and continue it, it's going to pretty much play out what's going to happen in the relationship. It's going to be the one that's always the spontaneous one, the entertainer, and then the partner is the one that sits back and admires, and it's kind of, sometimes that can be boring, I swear to God. Come on, you got two Sagittarius, because I'm Sag, Gizelle over here is Sag.
yes.
Then you got a Scorpio. I know for a fact we are the most entertaining persons on the date. Come on now. Come on. So what would make sense? You want him to be the watcher, or you
Well,
want him to
join in. It shouldn't all be on one person because, like you said, that gets boring. That gets draining if you're the only one thinking of all the plans and they don't have, you know, any adding anything to it. Because eventually, like, if this is something that you want for the long run, then how do you keep the spice going? Because people get caught up in the in love stage of things, and that's only like a segment of the love process. Because, like, being in love and being in a relationship is a process, and it's work as well. So a lot of people in the process, because the in love stage is over, the spice is gone, not knowing that both have to contribute to keeping that going. It can't be just one person. You know, we need to pour into each other, and I can't be doing all the pouring, then I'm gonna get empty.
You're gonna spend a nice one. What you?
I'm with you on that. I'm pretty much. I just feel. I read the room. If I feel that person may need some type of uplifting, you know, then I might be the one to uplift or, you know, just kind of entertain. But then if I'm in that zone where I'm just there, just filling it out, they'll usually be the one entertaining me. Mm-hmm. So I kind of it just all depends on the mode or the mood of the person. And I'm also the type of person, if I don't really know you, you're not really going to see my goofy side. You know, only people close to me in my zone, they know that I'm goofy. Like I sing, I've got microphones in the living room, you know, my kids, you know, people that know me in my circle, they know I can be goofy. I'll hang upside down on the bed. You know, I'm just, you know, Michael Jackson.
It's not free access for everybody.
Stuff, you know?
It's not everybody can get free access.
Right. Mm-hmm. So it just
and then Lizzie's on a roll with these questions. She says, ladies, what is something that is a complete turn on? A turn on.
A turn on?
Okay. We switching gears with this question now.
We're gonna switch up the gears. She should be throwing them at us like, yeah.
Well, I mean, I would say I like a positive, a person that's secure in themselves, you know, and like a positive mindset. I don't like all the flexing and, you know, showing me your jewelry or pulling out wads of money and stuff like that, like materialistic things. Like, you're confident in yourself and you're unique and you know, to some that may be awkward or maybe, you know, I don't even say, you know, not the cool thing, but you're confident in yourself. That I like that, you know.
Yeah.
A nice one.
Mm-hmm. I have to agree with Gizelle. I love confidence. I love a man that keeps his word. I don't like flamboyantness. I don't like I don't really want you to be too flamboyant, you know. And And what's a turn on to me is that you pick up where you clearly see I'm lacking. And it don't even be the obvious. It'll be something very small.
Oh, I like that answer. I like that answer. Now we got a little disconnected for 1 minute, ladies and gentlemen. But hold on, we're gonna get Queen right back up
We're
on
gonna get
here.
back in. But yeah, I do like what she's saying, like picking up where you see that I'm lacking. I would say that would be one for me as well. Like if a guy can get those subtle cues or just
Yeah.
the energy, he can infiltrate inside, like, and kind of pull out of you where you're lacking and pour into you.
Yeah.
That's
It's like
and be
feeding.
genuine about it. He's not trying to, like, he's not, um how some people are very they know, like, they try to, like, they'll watch our show and, taking notes of how I can better trick somebody on my next date. You know what I'm saying? So we want a genuine person doing these things, and you can tell genuine energy from someone that just got all the punchlines and just too good to be true, seems rehearsed, or genuine energy. So
Right. And then she as soon as we get Queen back, we're gonna go into this question here. It says, what do you ladies do if you are starting out as a couple and you find out he loves running to mama with issues you two share, and she comes to you with her opinions? Oh, here we go. Let me tell you, Annisa, this question. I don't know if you heard the whole thing, but she want to know, what do you ladies do if you are starting out as a couple and you find out he loves running to his mama with issues you two share, and she comes to you with her opinions? Oh, buddy, mama's bully. Yeah, your mic.
Interesting.
Oh, yes. Oh, okay.
Okay, so we have different types of mothers out here.
Oh, yeah.
These mothers are the reason.
Yeah. And it's like, for me, I never had issues with anybody's mother. They actually all love you, but I would have to say, when you're in a relationship, it's about you and that person. Like, your mother's going to go off, your kids are going to grow up. You really have to build that relationship with your significant other, because you get to telling them bad stuff about your woman or your man, and then you're going to be seen with them at the next holiday dinner. So now no one's going to really take you guys seriously. So
yeah,
I say I would probably just, like, talk to my man and let him know this is what happens when you go telling our business to your mother, because I know you love me and I love you. So let's try to keep our issues together, within ourselves.
Right.
That's what I would say.
Like that. And then, oh my God. Okay. So,
well, just on that point, I will say that I do want to say on that point, like, I did, there was a time frame. I have to pat myself. There was a time frame where I used to tell his mama on him. Woo! I used to call a couple times, like, come on, man, help me out over here.
Yes.
She used to get them together. But yeah, that's not good. I eventually stopped. But yeah, I will say that, if he was doing that, but it wouldn't be because the only way I could see a guy doing that, running to his mom and telling stuff, that's kind of weak to me. But I will also say, like, he's telling things. It's more seeming like he's lying, because I don't know, because I guess that's because that's his mother. But I couldn't see that he would be just running to his own mother. It's weird. Just something weird about the dynamic of that. I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want a relationship with that.
Yeah, doing to others as you would have them do to you. Lizzie says, ladies, do you like a guy showing his sensitive, vulnerable side? Example, not afraid to show tears, etc.
Okay, this is the deal. I don't want nobody that will cry their eyes out over me, because I'm scared now.
That's kind of creepy, man.
I'm scared.
We need some music. Man.
You know, so I
Just
need you to be, I mean, it's okay to cry because we all cry, but it has to make sense.
right.
You know, you're not going to be crying, oh, because that's a form of manipulation. People need to
Yeah.
understand that crying is a form of manipulation, so you cannot always, you know, go off of that.
Yeah.
But anytime you got someone like being, you know, crazy, oh, I could kill myself. You're leaving me. I would kill myself. I'm
That's on
scared.
the extremist.
You
You
know,
got to get out of that situation.
yeah, I don't want nothing to do with it.
Because that's also mental manipulation.
Absolutely.
And you know, being that you're, you know, victims advocate, you know, I know that you must have heard that many times where somebody was mentally, they call it mind screwed. I'm not gonna say the word,
Yeah, yeah,
mind screwed, you know. So,
Yeah.
but it just seems like there's a lot of people, they're settling because that's all they can have, or that's all they think they can have. And what do you what can a person who knows how to do motivational speaking say to a whole bunch of people, because there's a lot of them out there. We already discussed that it is like, it seems to be like on the rise.
I would
What do we
say
say?
wisdom keeps you alive.
Mm.
So unless you want to be found in a ditch somewhere or dead in your house, you know, domestic violence, male or female.
Yeah.
Unless you want to get in a bad car wreck because you're so hysterical and because you're losing your damn mind because of the argument that just took place. Now you're on the road, you get into a car accident. You know, unless you want to keep losing, you know, then you would understand that wisdom keeps you alive. And where does wisdom come from? It will come from the highest. It comes from the spirit. So you can't say you know the most high. You can't say that you know the Almighty if you don't use wisdom. And we know that wisdom sometimes does not connect with your heart. Your way your heart feels, wisdom is not going to, it doesn't really connect actually. Wisdom is more on a higher scale, you know. So we know that you have to make certain decisions that are wise, and it may not line up to what your heart and the weaknesses and the flesh that you have. Your flesh is going to want you to bow down. But wisdom tells you, oh no, I gotta get the heck up out of here. Now, wisdom tells you I'm gonna leave now, because if I waited a second, it would have been my life taken versus someone, you know what I'm saying? So wisdom keeps you alive. And there's a lot of people that are dead and gone. Rest her soul. But the wisdom was not there. And it saves us. My grandfather was 104 when he passed away. A lot of my things I know, I came from him. I asked him what was the key to long life. He said you pray, you know, you continue to pray to the Almighty and stay out the streets. And he told me wisdom keeps you alive. And the streets doesn't mean like you just out roaming the streets. That's anywhere outside of your dwelling that you are now in conflict, could possibly be in conflict with another person that may not live like you. So you set yourself up by being in certain situations, you know. But I would just say wisdom keeps you alive. And there's your answer.
Connecting to higher power.
Yeah.
Giselle, you want to piggyback off that?
Yeah, I do want to say that I always say this all the time. We can't be slave or become victims or be weak to the desires of the flesh, because for both men and women, even though this is from her point of view, men can get themselves in some situations because of the weakness of the desires of their flesh and their lust or whatever, that could, you know, that is not using wisdom, and that could end bad, just the same as with women. So we do want to see signs like just going back to someone just crying all the time and just using mental manipulation. I often wonder, because I have children and I have daughters, and do you give a person a second chance in these times? Because sometimes a second chance is, like, so with mental, if someone's manipulating you, you think mentally, and or using crying on cue or whatever, I'm going to do this if you're going to do it. How do you get out of that situation? Do you give them a chance? Do you try? Like, what do you think? How do you think someone should handle that?
Some things
Someone
are just
saying,
not
I'm
worth
going to stop.
risking.
Yeah.
You just don't risk it. Like, you got to know yourself more than that. You know, I like a lot of people, they ask questions, but they know the answers to them already. They just don't want to accept it. So it's lack of acceptance. They're not accepting the answer. So they just asking the same questions to themselves over and over again because they're not accepting. Um
Mhm.
and oh, this one is deep. Go ahead, Giselle. You want to read off that?
I believe sometimes there's more going on to what one can't change. Been there before, and it's not always easy to get out of a situation immediately, and it breaks one mentally down. Yeah, it's not always easy, especially if you love the person. Especially if you love the person. Love, that love.
Yeah,
Love can be delusion sometimes.
definitely. And then you also take in consideration if that person has not reached their highest of the highest within their own life,
Hmm.
they think they're in love. They think it.
Yeah.
It's
It's really
all,
love.
it's
It's like a
really all an
strong
illusion.
lust.
Because once
Yeah.
you really come into grips of who you are, why
Hmm.
you're put here, you know, all the mysteries of your past, all the mysteries in your life, all the puzzle, the whole masterpiece is now connected as to why you went through
Hmm.
certain things, then you realize that for real, you know, you'll say that, okay, I'm a woman of God. I'm a woman of the Most High. You know, I believe in my Lord and Savior. You say these things, but your actions don't mimic that. And you won't be able to, you know, that's where that wisdom comes in. Like, but you have to have went through the fire in order to see that. And the problem today that I see is that people are like, they're not really living with purpose.
Mm.
They're wasting, you know, God's fresh air. They're
Mm.
wasting the fresh air,
Yeah.
you know, and all of that because they're not living in purpose. And once you really find your purpose, you really won't be able to withstand a lot of this foolishness. It
Mm.
won't even allow you to. Like I say, anything that's
Exactly.
a hindrance to your calling or your purpose and your
Mm.
destiny, you're just not going to want it. You're going to want peace. You're going to know you deserve so much better.
And
And
don't they, with that said, don't they, you know, the first thing is setting those boundaries, not getting caught up in,
mhm,
I'm going to sign myself up to rescue this person. No, 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 no. You have to remember that your peace is so very important. You sacrifice your peace, you ain't going to extend no peace to that person. You only going to invite chaos. I
Mm.
said it said has something for us ladies. He says peace. So recently I saw an awful video where after a woman left her partner, he killed himself because she didn't want him. What are your opinions of how both men and women should learn to love thyself? And disclaimer, because we're talking about, you know, taking
Mhm.
one's life in this episode, ladies and gentlemen. So this is a very deep conversation. I'm gonna go and give the mic over to you, Miss Anisa. Go ahead, take it away.
that's really deep. That's very, very powerful. You know, I actually, that was one of my worst fears. I've always had boyfriends, you know, even as a teenager. And, you know, I noticed that people cling to me a lot, you know, and I've stayed in relationships, you know, when in my 20s or whatnot. You know, with my daughter's father, for instance, my first daughter I had, I stayed with her father because I had lost my father at a young age. So um, he would use manipulation to try to get me to stay. Well, if you let me go, I could get killed. Do you want you know, you want our daughter to grow up without a father like you did, you know? And, but I'll tell you like this, nobody can save anyone. Now, what you can do is either you are a inspiration. No, I'm sorry. You're either the problem or you're the solution. And so when I look at it like that, if I'm in someone's life, am I a solution to what's going on with them? When they're with me, is my time going to be utilized in a good way to help transform them, you know, help encourage them? But then if I see that it's not, then I'm the problem. And then I have no choice but to back away. You see what I'm saying? Because I love myself and I love them too. I know that I am the problem, obviously, because I'm not here to, if you're not getting anything from me dwelling in your life. You know, so again, that takes a lot of like a person to be selfless to truly know what it's like to love someone unconditionally. I'm gonna back up, you know. But the people that usually want to kill themselves and so that they don't have anything to look forward to. and the stakes are high. I tell people this all the time. There's more people that don't really know what they're going to do with their life than the ones that really do. So you really have to be careful on who you allow in your life, um, because it's nothing. I mean, we're not. None of us is exempt. You know, one bad move and we may not even be here, all because you felt sorry, you felt pity for someone. And love is not pity. And leaders build up other leaders. So uh I'm not with all that at all.
That was
Like,
elegantly put. That was beautifully put. Giselle, you want to go off of that?
Yeah, that's unfortunate that the guy chose to end his life.
yeah.
My condolences to his family. I would say that's deep. Um, there is some lacking and some void and something that was missed in his nurturing and in his growth process, to where he needed a person so bad. His own value, he didn't see the own value of his own life without them. We cannot ever not want to live without someone. You know, that's almost like idolatry, you know, worshiping the person, you know. So we don't
Yeah.
never want to put a person on that type of pedestal where we cannot live our lives without them.
I know. Oh
We're
God, that's
journeying together if we're going to be
great.
together, but sometimes the journey ends, you know. Sometimes we
You
come
gotta
to
go
a point and we
their
go,
separate.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Lizzie says, sadly, it seems that men take it hard when a woman can't handle his issues. So he ends her life. If he dare say she wants to leave, she is punished. It's wrong. Both parties. It's wrong.
Mhm.
And then
Absolutely.
I guess after that we're gonna go into where she mentions that what do you do if with someone and his children doesn't want their dad seeing someone and you love him? Do you continue to be with him and try to be friends with his kids, or do you end it?
Okay, so going to the other point, the first point we want to talk about where they said people punishing a woman or if they try to leave or ending their life. Anisa, did you want to say something about that?
Yeah, but they didn't end their life over you or that person. They usually end their life because it's something deep down within them that they could not fix. You know, they couldn't, and or they had guilt. You know, guilt, some type of guilt they could not live with. So I feel like in situations like that, that's unfortunate. Like, I've never had anyone kill themselves over me, but I've been in situations, you know, years ago where I may have thought, I don't know why I would think I'm so up here to think that someone want to do that, but it was just there because I know that I'm a good person to whomever I'm with. So I understand they don't have family and I'm all they had. Like I said, I never ever kicked anybody while they were down. And so I think I have had a fear that someone may put their life in danger. And I don't want it on my hands. So like I said, I'm going to swim you to shore. I don't want it on my hands. I don't want no blood on my hands. And like I said, I've done that pretty much all my life. I will swim you to freaking shore. I will make sure that you are in a safe place. I've literally taken someone to the pastor.
Wow.
And I'm sitting there in a meeting. I take them to my childhood pastor and I let the childhood pastor speak to both of us. I'm already knowing what I'm getting ready to do. I already know that this is not going to work. But so what I did, and I did this in my 20s, instead of me just saying to hell with you, I took you where I got comfort. I took you to my childhood pastor. I let him talk to you. I let him mentor you. Wherever you decide to go after that, that's up to them. But I did my part, you know. So, but there's
I
a
could
lot of
feel
people
that
that can't
energy,
handle it.
Anisa. I could feel it. I could
Thank
feel
you,
not just you
Lizzie.
don't just have the story to tell. You have the energy to go with it. I mean, you really lived that experience.
Yeah, I really
So
have.
that's what makes it so powerful. God
Thank,
bless you,
thank you.
Yeah.
God
Giselle.
bless you
What
so.
you think?
They also were talking about like them, like guys are doing like causing harm to women and punishing them. So, um,
Mm,
like I guess, you know, leading them to shore, as she said, and removing yourself, not in such a vocal, in your face way. Because when you're dealing with certain people that's sensitive like that, and you know that they've already made these threats, you have to go about situations differently, and you are walking on eggshells. But by the grace of God, unfortunately, some people haven't gotten out of it, but you can get out of that situation. So with the next question, if what were they asking again? Because I
It
can't
was,
see.
what do you do if with someone and his children doesn't want their dad seeing someone and you love him? Do you continue to be with him and try to be friends with the kids, or do you end it?
So the dad has children. He's dating now, but the children are having problems with the new woman. Basically,
That's a popular one.
that's
That's not
what
nothing
they're
new.
saying.
Yeah.
Well, what would you say, Annisa?
Well, to be honest with you, I've never been with anybody whose kids or family didn't like me, but
Everybody just likes Annisa. Everybody just like Annisa.
It's
sorry,
probably
I
them
think that kind of
oils.
effect,
It's
but,
probably them luxury oils she got.
well, the thing is this, you have to come with that type of energy. So kids are not dumb. They know if they like a person or not, and then some of them are just, they don't know what they like. They're just kind of going off what the mother told them to say or told them to do and act like. So, but what I do is that I just always just show up. If I can't get somebody, if I know that this is not going to be an easy go, I'm still going to be me. I'm going to do everything I can to just show up. Now if the kids are being rude or, then, mean and all that, vindictive or physical or something like that, then of course I would go to the man, try to encourage him to fix it or whatever. But I think all in all, what has worked for me in any type of situation where it might be a little challenging, I just show up and I don't change who I am, and I stay open-minded to what's going on around me. And I realize that everybody's on different levels. So these are kids or teenagers. They don't know half the stuff I know. So why would I take it so personal? I got to, these children nowadays, this is a show me generation. You can't tell them nothing. You have to show them. So that has worked. You have to show them because they don't care nothing about no words. Like our generation, they said, don't do this, don't do that, don't speak. Okay, we didn't say a word. This generation, you almost got to pick up something that like you literally. This generation is the show me generation. Like they're not listening to nothing nobody got to say.
And follower generation, followers.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, and because of that, you have to try a different approach. So you just
now,
have to
what
show
if what if they're all grown up now? What if the children are not children, like babies, teens, but what if they're in their 30s and they're giving their father an issue about dating the woman,
That's
new
bad.
woman?
That's really bad.
It is very bad. I actually knew someone that kind of went through that. If the kids are older like that, I definitely would just be in my man's ear. I would never let it be a factor to where we're going to be arguing over and losing sleep over it. But I would just stand my ground. Like, I'm here. You guys have to respect me like I respect you. And then that's it. Now, there is situations that it can be violent and children can be very mean and fights and all that stuff. And then at that point, I would just be like, do you want me? Do you want what we have? And if you don't, then please, I'll just go ahead and go. If this is what's going to make things peaceful. Because again, the whole objective is if you're not the solution, then you are the problem. So if no one's going to appreciate your presence, then why am I going to be there?
Exactly. Yeah, it's true.
And
And knowing your self-worth. Now, one of the things that our brand ambassador is going back real quick, because that one topic about the taking one's life is it's so deep, and I think that there's so much elements to it. She mentions him ending his life could have been a punishment to her. You never know what's been said behind closed doors. So it seems like there's this thing about someone wanting to punish you. I want you to feel bad. That's all toxic in my opinion. And I haven't really been stating too much of my opinion because, we got a lot of good questions here. But I'm just going to say it. I agree with everything that Gizelle and Annisa, what you ladies been saying. That's why, I'm just like, I just nodded my head because I agree. You can't sacrifice. You have to know your worth, and you cannot sacrifice your peace, and you cannot always save everybody. I mean, I wear the captain's hat for a reason. I like to, lead the way and steer the boat. But sometimes if somebody's going to sink my ship, I'm gonna give them a rescue boat, and they can see themselves off my damn ship. Excuse my language, because you ain't sinking my ship. I got a bunch of other crew members I gotta take care of.
Oh yeah.
Because as at a certain time in our lives, where you become the women. We're these women. We might have children. And our children could be of a certain age. It could be teens. It could be 19. It could be in their 20s. We could still be legally married to somebody, but and we just can't get that divorce freaking thing, because y'all know that sometimes divorce takes a hot minute to process. And that being said, do you wait until the guy is legally divorced before you can actually pursue something intimate and further with him? Yes or no? Simple question.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Number one, remember I was saying like the conflict of interest, like something, it's not going to make it run the way it should run, because there's something else that is preventing the peace. So if you have something open already, or open chapter with a whole nother situation, I personally, because I know how this goes, and I don't want to be the cause of why that person is getting a divorce or whatever. Matter of fact, just call me after it's already said and done, because all that can come back in a relationship too. Well, you made me, and then they're thinking that you're supposed to be this perfect person because they divorced their wife of whatever years, 12, 13 years. So now they've got this false illusion that this next person, which would be you, is going to come into their life and just everything's going to be perfect. So I don't really personally like that. I believe that you have to have time. You really have to have time, because I'm not going to be held accountable because you got a divorce. Because what'll happen, like I said, they literally will blame you for something that ain't got nothing to do with you, but because they jumped out of a relationship and got into a relationship with you, now they're assuming that you're supposed to be perfect and not even try to put in the work as they did in that other marriage. And see, it's like the ball, it starts over, the timer, it starts over. So you're going to have to give it your all. And what I see people do is jump out of a situation, jump in another situation, and then expect for that situation
and then
to be
expect it to different.
right.
Yeah, only, and that's the highlight what you just said. They leave one situation to pursue another, but then there's no difference. There's no difference. The whole thing, you leave so there could be a change, a positive change in your life. And when that's not existent, then you might have to do some like self-reflection, like, okay, what am I doing wrong? Because I'm not doing what I'm doing, who I'm inviting into my personal space. It's not working for me, So that being said, Gizelle, did you say anything out on that point?
Yeah, I did want to add to definitely. Okay. I did want to add. I definitely would not date. I don't deal with no taken man, married man, legally. Separated. None of that, because it's still. I don't think it's in righteousness, and you never know what is going on. Like someone may be still fighting for something. You don't want to be someone that's in the way of someone else's last stance, or someone that is maybe unknowingly or willingly a side person. You don't want to be that, because you have to do unto others as you have done unto yourself. Do you want someone waiting in the wings while you're fighting for your marriage, or it's a separation and someone's just in the wings and causing this distraction? And man, they're weak with the flesh, whatever. So would you want that done to you? Or also, would you want to be dating someone that is separated, but then he ends up those feelings coming back? So it's very complicated, and you don't want to do like a rebound, or you don't want to get involved in that. So I wouldn't.
And God knows what other kind of secrets he be having behind the doors
Oh
if
yeah,
he ain't trying to end that stuff. Come on now. And she
yeah,
said
definitely not.
she's jumping in with another one lady. She on a roll, man. Lizzie, what's up? She says, ladies, what do you do if you end your marriage and the man coerces you, coerces you? You know what I'm saying? Your child to speak ill of you to her and anyone. So the person like they divorcing and but they're having the child speak ill about you. How should a woman cope with that? Ooh, this is a good one, ladies. Come on now. Anisa, jump on that
That
one.
is
Jump on that one,
awful.
Anisa. Come on now.
That is so awful when women do that to their kids.
Or a
That's such
man
a
doing it to the child
disgrace.
to talk bad about
Yeah,
the mother.
talk bad. Oh, the man talking bad about
The
the mother.
Well,
man,
it
the man
happens
using
both
the daughter.
ways.
Yeah, the
Oh
man
yeah,
using the daughter to talk ill about the mama
about
after
the
they done
mama.
split up.
That's awful, and I'll tell you why that's awful. Because your children are a reflection of you, and if you talk about the mother, you're talking about yourself, and you're talking about the kids. So all you do is pretty much that child to grow with insecurities. Imagine if a man spent majority of his time uplifting his daughter's mother or his ex-wife. That child knows that he or she will be great. Imagine if the woman spent majority of her time with her kids and she uplifted her ex-husband and her baby's father or whoever. That kid is going to know it was made out of love. Like, really, when people do that, you're really just damaging your own seed. You're causing hate, and anything that reflects malice. And actually, all that stuff is the reason why the world is the way it is. And a lot of people don't understand that if you create hate, if you demonstrate hate, no matter how big or small, it will come back on you.
Yeah.
And a person that would feed that to their children, they don't really love their kids. Because when you love who you correct. And I don't care what the man has done to me or if it didn't work or whatever the case is, I would never have his child believe anything worse about him. I wouldn't just go out of my way to make my child, talk down on the mother or the father. So I would, again, if it's your man and it's his kids that is like that or whatever,
Correct that little crap head. Correct it, dang
yeah,
Nebbit. Do your job,
yeah,
Gizelle.
Yeah, that's a lot of bitterness, and you don't want to project your bitterness onto your children and
right.
cause their relationship with themselves and their
Mm-hmm.
parents. And then then it spills on into their relationships and their intimate relationships, and then their relationships as parents. That's a cycle of bitterness, negativity, pessimism. Um, so you got to be careful with that. And if a man is doing that with his children, that's very spiteful. Same if a woman is doing it too.
Very
It's not a
toxic.
child's business or place to be put in the middle of whatever chaos you all have.
Right.
Yeah.
It's terrible that the child would be used that way, and it's terrible that the child would also, I mean, you would think that the child, especially if they're like 16, 17, maybe 18, whatever, that at that point they should be able to differentiate the difference between right and wrong. And it's wrong for me to get involved with my mother and father's dispute. It's I don't want to entertain it. I'm not going to pick sides, and I'm certainly not going to bash my mama. But these things do happen, and so I guess it's a question of if you step out of a relationship, if you end up and I'm so sorry to hear that Miss Lizzie, she mentioned how she's been there too, ladies. So it seemed like she's got she sharing those really deep, intimate experiences with us, and we appreciate you and thank you for sharing that with us. I know how hard it is to get into some of those things, but it is helpful to other people, to men and women, to other men and other women. You leave one situation only to get into another one. It should be different. It shouldn't be the same. because you ought to know by now your self-worth, that you're worth more. You can't just go around saying I deserve better and I'm worth more, but then you're not giving that to yourself
or others. So yeah, you
or
have
the
to give
people
that to
around you.
yourself. And because sometimes the problem is not always the other person. You're a
Right.
contributor to the problems, because then why? Because it's like a cycle. It's also maybe the people you're attracting, the people you're choosing, the
Yep.
people you're settling for, the decisions that you're making. So you're
Mhm.
a problem to yourself. So don't be just jumping and hopping into just gotta have somebody. You need to take some time, like you said, self-reflection, some self-healing,
And that's how she copes with it,
self-esteem
is
boosting.
self-reflection, right? Is that how she's
Mm-hmm.
gonna cope with? Because she did ask, how should a woman cope with that, with the marriage ending, and then the husband is using the child to get back at the mother. So how is she supposed to cope with that? Who got some really good work? Because self-reflection is a big one. That's number one. Self-reflection. What else?
I would definitely spend more time, with my kid, like, and then
Say you can't.
it's a really big one. Oh, you
Because a
can't.
lot of times, let's
Dang.
say you can't, like that, they you in the
I
same.
would
Let's say
pray.
you in
I
the
would.
same state, but he's got the kid. He
Okay.
got the kid.
Yeah, I've seen that before. Okay, so what you have to do again, you just have to demonstrate, because those kids, they always look for you. They're always watching you, even if you don't think they are. So that person, what I would give advice, what the advice that I would give to them is that, number one, they would need to pray. They would constantly need to pray that God changes the circumstance and the situation, and then I would definitely do everything in my power to be the opposite of what is being fed to that child. So, the proof is in the pudding. It's right there. I'm not this because you clearly see that I've sacrificed. I'm doing this. I'm a positive role model. I would just probably, when you have so much negative going on, you want to over flood it and overpower it with positive. And I've kind of learned that that's really what gets the mountains moving and stuff like that. Like, you just want to, again, just keep your word, show up, prove them out to be a liar, pray about it, and it'll change. It'll definitely change. And that child will end up having their own,
And
they'll
and
be able
and,
to have
and
their own opinion.
Giselle, what do you think? You know what I'm saying?
Well, if I haven't been in that situation, but I have heard of situations as such. And so if say you couldn't get to the child, I like she said, be yourself, because you'll be genuinely being yourself if these things that are being coerced into your child are not true. So you'll be genuinely being yourself, being positive, which is the opposite of some of the things and the ill feelings. And they'll begin to see themselves. You just have to work on your relationship with your child as much as you can, whether it's a long distance relationship, calling, sending a gift, sending a message, oh, I'm thinking of you, they'll begin to see that you're not as bad as maybe they have begun to feel because of being coerced, or but in due time. So coping with that is just keeping hope. You always hope all things. Love hopes all things. So your relationship with your child, it can come back around. And coping with that is knowing that you're here, you can get there.
Right.
So,
Absolutely.
Can I also add to that, to something? It's amazing that we get into these conversations that we do, and I can hear the music, because we're gonna call it. I believe this is our commercial break. Unless this is the end of it, because I sometimes I lose myself. Hold on, ladies. We get so caught up in these wonderful, juicy conversations. I always tell y'all it's gonna be another exciting episode. Did I lie? I'm just saying.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, no lie. And shout out to our brand ambassador, and shout out to I Said It Management for giving us those questions. They were very deep, and it's what's even more strong, powerful is that these is coming from people who actually lived these experiences. We can't really always tackle questions that ain't nobody ever experienced, because then we're like, okay, this is a boring subject. It's more exciting when we've experienced it.
Right.
Yeah.
Facts. So again, where can people find you on all social media platforms, Annisa, and support and buy your products?
All right. Well, my book is on Amazon. You can also order it from the Anisestar website. It's Anisestar. luxuryfragranceoils.com. And of course, I'm on the Instagram as well as Facebook. Like I said, you can pretty much just Google my name, and you'll have ways of ordering the book from different entities, and I appreciate it.
It's so beautiful. Look at how lovely.
Yeah.
Look at it.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Memoirs of a broken lot.
Broken side.
Side.
Very powerful.
And Gizelle, where can everybody find you on all social media platforms?
Yes, you guys. I am also a singer-songwriter. I'm a musician. I'm a writer as well, and a creator and mom. And I would love for you all to follow me at Gizzy Worldwide. That's Gizzy Worldwide. Find me anywhere. And also follow our page at From Her Point _of View_ talk show.
Brought to you again by I Said It Management. You can find me on all social media platforms. Go ahead and Google LeeLee the Goddess. Shout out to I Said It. And don't forget to buy some of his merchandise, everybody. Go ahead and follow I Said It on Facebook. Hit him up for some hats and merch. You know. Look at how nice. Look, pink, blue, and yellow.
My God.
Pinky up.
I'm so proud of you.
And then Annisa, did we get all of it? Because you have a lot of hats, Queen. You have a lot of hats. You know, you're a victims advocate, and we really touched on a lot of stuff that has to do with victims and people who have put themselves in toxic relationships and how to get out of it and all that stuff. Do you have any other locations where people can reach out to you, for those things?
Well, I'm in Kansas City, Missouri, as I mentioned, and I don't really do the victim advocacy for toxic relationships. It's more dealing with families that have lost loved ones to violence. I assist with cold cases, things of that nature. That's pretty much what my book is about. And how I walked into truth, learning the truth about my father who was murdered here in Kansas City. But again, a lot of the issues in my life, bad relationships, toxic relationships, all stem from me losing my father at such a young age. And so, and it's really deep. I know we don't have a lot of time, but yeah, I definitely have a lot of hats. And
my condolences to you, Queen.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It was an awakening. I used to say it broke me, but to be honest with you, it truly awakened me into the woman that I am today. So I just encourage everybody to embrace the past, whatever's happened, learn why you are the way you are, and then work to fix those things.
Yeah.
Ay,
bendito. Gizelle?
Well, thank you, Annisa. They're saying that you were a great guest, and they're sending their condolences. I'm sending mine as well. I lost my father. It wasn't to any violence when I was 11, though. So to be without a father, but to also add it being, something more in depth of heartache is something that I haven't experienced, but I can definitely sympathize with. So I do appreciate you for being here. I'm going to get your book, and I'm going to leave a review. Okay. And this is a wonderful show. Just, we went into a lot of topics. So
a lot.
I'm impressed.
Yeah, and y'all talked about your daddy. I'm gonna give a shout out to my daddy. Daddy, I love you. He served our country. A retired veteran, military man in the Army. He served in Iraq, and he endured a lot. Daddy, I love you. So yeah, y'all, I'm gonna make me get off. As soon as I get off the show, I'm gonna be smothering my father. Well, thank God.
Please do.
Yes.
And but yeah, I definitely have to check out your book. Everybody, please go look this wonderful woman up, Annisa Davis, on Facebook. Memoirs of a Broken
Side.
Help me. Side.
Memoirs
And
of a Broken Side.
Is it available on Amazon?
Yeah, it's on Amazon.
It's on Amazon. Look it up, y'all.
Absolutely. Yep. And you can also order from the website, Anisestar luxuryfragranceoils.com. So you can order your oils as well as the book. If you order from the website, then it'll be basically autographed. You'll have an autograph, and it also comes with a gift. So
okay.
And what could they do if they want to be a guest or a sponsor, Gizelle?
Well, one more time, we want you here, just like our beautiful guest, Annisa. We would love to have you here. It is from her point of view at AOL.com. Please email us.
Yes, please do, everybody. Her point of view at AOL.com. Come on, we want to know what you got to say. Annisa, again, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you. I had
many
a
blessings
wonderful
to
time.
everybody and their families. Many blessings, and shout out to also the legendary Mimie Acosta, our other brand ambassador. Shout out to Lizzie Smalls, or Lizzie Smith. Elizabeth Smalls sitting over there, same person. You know, I get a little confused. I'm sorry. Love you and God bless.
God bless. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
That's usually when we do our dance right here. You hear it? You hear that? Kyoko.
Kyoko says, "Hey, cuz, who your cousin? That Annisa?"
Yep, that's my cousin.
I
Yep.
think that's
Hey, cousin.
That's my beautiful cousin. Philippine.
We're all distant cousins, right?
Yes. Ohio. Where's I said it?
Till next time, ladies and gentlemen. God bless.